All right, everyone, welcome to Sunday night, a special edition of One Nation and SLM Extra. I'm excited to bring to you my guest tonight because she's going to be talking about something that's taking place tomorrow afternoon, or actually tomorrow evening. And it's going to be something that you want to make sure that you get involved in and get over there. So I'm not even going to mess around. It's about ice cream, okay? It's all about the ice cream. It's hot out. You need some ice cream. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and bring in my friend Andrea Holloway from Council for Drug-Free Youth. How you doing, Andrea?
Doing well, Kirk. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. It's awesome to always get to speak with you and share about some good stuff like ice cream.
Yes, of course. Who doesn't
Yeah.
love ice cream?
Absolutely. I mean, you were out today, swimming, getting cool and all that with your family, but people need ice cream just to make them at least feel like they're cool and as well as satisfy their sweet tooth, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Especially with the heat the way it is lately, just having that sweetness and being able to cool yourself off for a little bit. We'll have that opportunity tomorrow night for the community. With Council for Drug Free Youth, we host our annual ice cream social every year, and this is a platform where our three performance groups, yes, I love it,
Yeah, look at
they'll
that.
get to perform for the community. And so every year they go out and perform to schools. So our students are able to see the performance, but this is an opportunity for the community to see the performance. So our organization focuses on substance use and mental health prevention or mental health promotion among youth here, not only in Cole County, but we also focus in Callaway and Osage County. So we're excited for this opportunity. The kids have really been practicing all week, last week and the week before. So they put their heart and soul into this, and to see them perform is amazing. And these kids really put it all out there and are excited about it and really want to show everybody, the little seeds that they'll be planting throughout the community to help promote not using substances and
Mhm.
how important mental health is among youth here.
And it is definitely something that we need to make sure that our youth have an understanding of, that they are prepared that when those different opportunities arise, because they will arise in school, they'll arise when they're out in the streets with their friends, whatever those opportunities will arise, they need to know how to respond properly and how to just guard themselves against the troubles that lie ahead with substance abuse.
Right. Yeah. And it's knowing that there are other kids out there who think the same way you do, or having a group that you can turn to, knowing that there are others really helps youth a lot because sometimes they do feel like they're by themselves or they're not being heard, or there may be a certain situation that is affecting their home life or economic status. There's just all different kinds of factors that a lot of youth actually share those factors together, and building that communication between them and being able to have a trusted adult to turn to. It's also teaching them the warning signs or what to look for in their fellow classmate. It could be an adult. I mean, just because you see a youth uh, acting a certain way doesn't mean that an adult can't display that same thing. So
Mhm.
it's not only helping each other, but it's also helping among the youth, the community, adults, you name it. They're able to see those warning signs and what to look for, and potentially where to go and how to get that help for that person.
Mhm. Andrea, we've talked about the different organizations right here in Jefferson City that help people with dealing with substance abuse and help them on the other side, the recovery side of it. But man, what an important thing that we can do to prevent kids and youth from getting to that point. There's a whole
Right.
lot of pain, a whole lot of hurt, a whole lot of a whole lot of mess that goes into all that, and it just really, I mean, it's really just trying to take them out. It's trying to take
Yeah.
them out.
Yeah. It's obviously we're trying to prevent it from getting to that point.
Mhm.
Substance use. mental health. Just because you are depressed or you feel sad, that's okay. It's okay to have those feelings. It's how you cope with it and learning those different coping mechanisms that it may be for someone. You know, the way I cope with things is probably different than the way you cope with things, but um, it's learning those healthy coping mechanisms. And it's okay to seek help if you need to get help. And so those are the type of messages that we relay to youth, and turning to your parents, or it could be a teacher, a coach. I mean, any type of a mentor is a huge advocate for that youth as they're going through those transitions that they go through.
Hmm. You're helping me segue perfectly because I'm just going to say, one way some people like to cope is they like to cope through ice cream. So why
Right.
not, help me with this difficult day? Let me go get some ice cream. So why don't you talk a little bit about what time the event is tomorrow night, where it's at? It's a great price for people coming to get ice cream. I mean, and
Yeah.
helping your organization. So go right ahead and jump into that.
Yeah. So tomorrow night, July 31st, the doors open at 5. Our performances start at 5:30. We're actually hosting a ribbon cutting at 5:15 because this year CDFY is celebrating 40 years in the community, which I think is a huge milestone for an organization to be in this community for this long. So we're going to be celebrating that as well. And so, like I said, at 5:30, the performances start. You'll see the safety kids perform. You'll see our show me players perform. And then our uplift will be our special EMCs. They'll be um, helping the groups get into position and doing all that stuff and announcing them. So they'll be integrated within that. And then after the performances, we'll have people outside enjoying hot dogs. That'll be grilled by Central Bank. And so we're excited that they're going to be there. Our ice cream is going to be provided by Williams Keepers and Central Dairy. We'll have water out there. We're excited about the weather. It's not going to be as hot as it's been, but it'll still be enjoyable because it's towards the evening. And we'll have the Fletcher monster truck out there, fire department, police, SWAT car. Library is going to be out there with games. So a lot of interactive stuff for people to enjoy outside as well.
Wow, you've got a lot
And
going on out there.
it's all $5. That's
Five
all it is.
dollars.
$5.
That is
Yes.
that's amazing because, $5 is going to help and it's going to go, a long way in being able to establish what it is that you guys are trying to do. And, just by getting out here and getting involved with this great community event, being able to support what it is you are doing, your mission, being able to pour into students, being able to pour into our youth, and just letting them know that they have value and that we care about them and we want to help get them on the right track.
Right. An ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. So, very little money goes into prevention, but it can go very far.
Mhm.
And, obviously, if you're in the recovery world, it takes a lot more money to help you recover from the substance use, the mental health aspects. So, that's why we try to do it in the beginning and hopefully prevent youth from going down that path.
It's a absolutely a great program and it is needed in every community. But we are so thankful that all the hard work that you put in right here in mid Missouri, you guys are constantly working. You're constantly getting to the schools. You're constantly having events, and that's why one of the things I want to bring up is what kind of help do you need from people? Not only just volunteers, but also possibly looking for different staffing. Why don't you share about that?
Yeah, so we have other programs that we provide in the community from sixth to high school. It is COPE Team and Baseline. And so these are programs where we have facilitators that go and provide the education. Um, and we are constantly looking for facilitators to help us, whether you are on the Recode to Recovery and in recovery. We invite people to join us that way. We have teachers. I mean, we've had administrations, parents, whoever is has the passion for this is really loving being a facilitator because you go to the schools and provide that education, especially in a crucial time where they're in middle to high school, which is a very influential part of their life at that moment. And, they're going through changes and they're going to be challenged. And so just providing that education to them. We've had students who were in the program. Just a little story of a seventh grader whose father was struggling with alcohol, and this student um, witnessed his father, physically, mentally, emotionally abusing his mother. Was in a car accident when his dad was under the influence of alcohol. And so this student shared that he thought he had to basically live that same life. And going through that program, he realized he didn't have to. He can make his own choices and have a much better life. And so just seeing that click or that change for them is so amazing to witness and be a part of. It just fuels you for that next class or that next opportunity. So, and being and knowing and being a part of that, especially in our community where you are helping someone be a better version of themselves or help them through that, is amazing. And we've even seen the same part through our suicide prevention component of our program. Um, Sharing stories or how they felt that they had nothing else, no other option but to kill themselves at that moment. And then realizing and having a little conversation with them and helping them realize you don't have to go down that path.
Right.
You can get better and be better. So it's amazing, like I said, but we're always looking for facilitators to help with that as well.
Well, you went ahead and answered that question before I asked you. I was going to ask you about the suicide prevention and just how important that is, because we know that in society today that there are so many different trends or fads or whatever, and people are throwing even stuff like that out there as far as, hey, if you can't handle it, try suicide. You don't try suicide. I
Right.
mean, you do that and it's over. It's done,
Yes.
and there is no more opportunity. And
Yes.
for kids to have that understanding that that is not the route you want to go. It's going to
Right.
get better, and we will help you get better.
Right. Yep. I
And
totally agree, Kirk.
uh, that one gets me, because I was like, how can anybody even listen? I mean, it's just lies, just listening to lies. And you know they have to have the understanding that they are loved and that they have value. And I know you guys do a great job of reaching out to the kids and letting them know that there are alternatives, and we will help you get through it.
Right. And like I said, I think it's that also that component of we're also teaching them what to look for. And so I think it's also have knowing that someone's, kind of looking out for you,
Hmm.
I think is a great thing as well. And then knowing what to look for is a great piece of education just to have. Because I know if I do this, I live in my own little world, and sometimes life is just too busy and you don't see all of the things going on around you. And so having this education or this way to recognize is a huge thing, especially among youth. I mean, they are like sponges, as I'm sure you know. And so being able to have this and help someone in the long
Hmm.
run, I've always been the person that likes to help others. And I get gratification just out of that, knowing that I
Hmm.
help someone. And so um, I think it's a huge, powerful thing for them to have at such a young age.
It is, and just when you're talking about helping somebody, having that gratification, again, this what you're talking about is preventative measures to be able to help our youth be able to understand that, these different things. You don't want to go down that path because the
Right,
consequences and all of the different things involved with that if you do go down that path as far as substance abuse, thoughts of suicide, all those different types of things, they just lead to more misery. They are not actually helping. They are leading to more misery. I mean,
right.
it's not even coping. It's just leading to more misery. And
Yeah,
just seeing the different people that we minister to, and um, when they first go into these programs, I mean, they're a mess. They're at the bottom, and once they start getting an understanding that they don't have to use those things as coping mechanisms any longer, and that they can start having a healthier lifestyle, and in their faith and changing some different things, you see that transition, and it's amazing to see. But the sad thing is, it should never get to that point,
right.
and that's why it's
Yeah.
so important what you're doing.
Yep. That's why we do what we do.
That's right, and you guys do a fantastic job about it. You want to give a shout out to some of your team members, anybody like that working hard for you, making a difference?
Yeah, I mean, we have Kira, Megan, and Jessica. They're all three directors with our Safety Kids Show Me Players and Uplift. We have Dan Thompson, who's over our facilitated programs. We have tons of facilitators Mark Landis, Ruth Block, Stacy Hurst, Luann Madsen, Carmen Fairley. Our new facilitators this year with New Beginnings Healing House. We have some ladies from there, like Rebecca, Carissa, Crystal. I mean, the list goes on, and they all do great work. Some of them have been with CDFY for many, many years. So it just shows the dedication and the impact that they have been making over the years. And so it's an honor to work with each of them. Our board, we have Ron Fitzwater, Luke Rowling, Ashley Brondell, Caroline Burnett. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But I mean, I could not do what I do on a daily, obviously, without all of them and the volunteers who help the organization, business sponsors, just the community support. Obviously, we couldn't do what we do.
Mhm. Well, you mentioned some of my friends and people that attend church with me over from the Healing House and New Beginnings, and it's exciting to see them involved in programs like this again, going through the different things that they have, and now being able to feed back into our youth and our community as far as just being a role model and a facilitator, and just helping them to understand the perils of substance abuse. So
Yeah. Yep.
kudos to them as well as everybody else that you said. So that's awesome.
Yeah. No, we're
Well,
excited to have them.
yeah, that's great. Andrea, I'm not going to take much more of your time because I know you were, I mean, this is Sunday evening, but I did not want to let this go by. I want you to tell us a little bit more again about the ice cream social tomorrow night and what you want people to do.
Yes. So we doors open at 5. We'll have a ribbon cutting celebrating our 40th anniversary at 5:15. Performances will start right at 5:30. You'll see the Safety Kids and Show Me players perform along with Uplift. And then throughout the performances, we'll have hot dogs, ice cream, cupcakes, stuff to eat on outside. And then there's also some entertainment outside. So all for $5.
$5. That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to make sure that we get this tagged out to as many people as we possibly can. And those of you that are watching, make sure you share and also tag your friends and family. We want to make sure that this event goes off with, we're past the 4th of July, but let's just say it goes off with a bang. All right. We want to do that. And Andrea,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you do and everything that your team does. And I especially want to thank you for what you do because a lot of times, as a mom and as a wife, you put in long hours, and you're not able to pour everything into your family. There's a sacrifice, And so thank you
There
for your
is.
sacrifice.
Yeah, and my family actually really enjoys helping with a lot of stuff that I do, so that really helps too. So I gotta
Yeah,
thank them for stepping in and doing that as well. But I appreciate that, Kirk, and
yeah,
I like I said, I get gratification. I like helping others, especially youth, and being a mom myself. I don't want them to go through those things, and
right.
so I take these little kiddos as they're my own and nurture them and try to give them as much as I can so they can really soar as they're growing up and into adulthood. So,
Very good. Well, one thing we do have to ask, since this was about ice cream as well, is that what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? I mean, your
oh,
go-to.
yeah, if I'm at Central Dairy, I like Moose Tracks, but
Okay.
don't tell my husband because he doesn't like Central Dairy. So,
Oh, that's not, yep. We don't, we won't call him out. We won't call
yeah.
him out. Very well, moose tracks. I know you can't go wrong with that. So that's good. Well,
It's
Andrea, again, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not going to keep you anymore, but I appreciate you. And if you'll hold on while I quickly close out the program, I'll get with you right after that. Thanks again.
See ya.
All right. Well, everyone, we had with us tonight Andrea Holloway from Council for Drug Free Youth. Make sure that you get your family together, your friends, and get out tomorrow night to the Miller Performing Arts Center. At 5 o'clock, the doors open. At 5:30, they have the performances, and make sure that you get out to see that. There's hot dogs, there's monster trucks, there's all sorts of stuff, but most importantly, there's ice cream. Make sure you get out there, and it's all for only $5. $5 tomorrow night, July 31st. Make sure that you get out there and support this great organization as they are supporting the youth and families of our community. All right, this has been a special edition of One Nation and SLM Extra on Sunday night. And thank you guys so much for joining me. And I hope to see you again tomorrow night because I have a special guest. He's on the cover of Sports Locker magazine, and it's Benjamin Speaks. Make sure that you join me for that tomorrow night at 7. All right, until then, well, let me say this real quick. Join me after you've had your ice cream and had your entertainment over there at Miller Performing Arts. So make sure that you do that. God bless you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.